people back home believe that it's easy here, but it's not really easy. You're basically, you maybe starting from like square one. Even though you are educated back home or you have a good job, you need to lower your expectations. You need to know that when you come, you need most likely you'll benefit from having like Canadian education if you need to, let's say, make more money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what exactly, where are we, first of all? Can you introduce this place that we are?
Yeah, so we are in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada.
Right.
And it's a small city, quiet, family oriented, and it's a nice place to be. And I really love it here in Richmond.
And how long have you been here?
So I've been, not this specific place, but somewhere else in Richmond Hill. So altogether it's been 3 years.
Okay.
Previously we were in Toronto, but here is like more calmer.
Nice. And how do you like it here?
I love it.
Good?
I love it because it's quiet and
right.
it's family oriented.
Okay.
It's not like really busy, not a lot of distractions, and I'm not really that type of person anyway who likes entertainment with so much going on.
So you like nice peace and calm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you live here with your family?
I do, yes.
And where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Kenya.
Okay. This is the first Kenyan guest on our show, so that's good.
Yeah.
So originally from Kenya.
Yes.
And when did you move to Canada?
I moved in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, like February, winter time.
Wow. So I moved to the US February 5th, 2009.
Oh,
yeah. So about the same time. Now,
and it's probably winter time as well.
It was
right?
it was pretty bad. Now tell me about this, because a lot of people choose the US. What made you choose to come to Canada instead of the US?
Honestly, it's not like I even chose. It's just because my dad was already in Canada.
Right.
And then he sponsored us.
Right.
And
he sponsored you
came to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know you're a nurse.
Yeah.
I want you to talk to us about this process of nursing, because in the US, nursing is very popular, especially with the ladies.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to get into the nursing profession?
So I chose it because I enjoy caring for people, and it's a career that you're required to provide care to the people. I like to help, and I just chose it because it's something that I would be rewarded. I feel like I have fulfillment after helping someone, and it's just something that I've loved. I've really not thought of a different career other than this, and it's not like I even know people who are doing nurses. Actually, I do, but I didn't really even choose it because of them.
So for you, it wasn't influence. People did not talk. You didn't do it for money, and people did not talk.
No, because if you do it for money, I don't know really if you're going to stay in it, because you require patience, a lot.
Now, what does schooling look like here in Canada for someone that wants to be a nurse?
So you need to do high school. That is, if it depends. If you are already in Canada, for me, I had to do high school, high school here in Canada, and for me to enter into the nursing program, I needed 3 sciences, math, and English. Not 2 sciences. So you would choose whether it's biology and chemistry or biology and physics, so whichever sciences. So you need to accomplish those courses, and depending on the school that you're applying to, you need a certain average. So individual, let's say I need to score 75 and above in chemistry and math and English to get admission to that specific school.
Right.
Yeah, so you need those 2 sciences, 1 English, 1 math, and then that's basically it.
Okay, so after high school, how much longer does someone have to study to become an RN?
So after high school,
the
RN program is 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the US.
Yeah.
Because what's in between? Is there something? What kind of nurse are you if you only go for 2 years? Is it?
So 2 years is RPN, and then 4 years is RN. But there's also RN to RPN to RN. So then from RPN to RN, you need a bridging course for 1 year.
Okay.
So you do RPN for 2 years, and then do bridging course for 1 year,
to
then
become
RN
for
2 years.
Okay. I think that's the same thing that it is in the US.
Yeah.
So talk to us. So how long have you been practicing as a nurse since you graduated?
So since graduation, I graduated in 2015? Yeah, 2015. But when I started, I wasn't really practicing like full time, because at the beginning you're not really experienced, so you're doing a mixture of like PSW as well. So I did PSW as well.
What is PSW for those that don't know?
So PSW is like personal support worker. So mostly you're focused on providing care for the residents who are either in like a retirement home, a nursing home, or in the community. So it's basically just care. You're providing care, helping with activities of daily living, dressing, eating, feeding, grooming. Yeah, that will be it. So I did a mixture even after I graduated, because you need. Okay, so once you graduate at school, that's not it. You have to get a license. So to get a license, you need to do an examination, right? Then you get your license, then you start practicing. But because you're a new nurse, you're not really getting a lot of jobs, or at least I didn't. So that's why I did a mixture of nursing and PSW at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, but it was 2015.
Okay. Now, so for someone that just starting, let's say someone just came into Canada and they've only been here, and they want to get into a nursing program. What do you recommend? Like, what are some of the things that they should know before they get into this?
They need to know what the requirements are, and depending on the school that they are applying to. So what courses do I need to do? And also, if you are in high school, because you have to do the high school sciences, because there's different ways. If that person is just coming as a nurse from back home, they can just do the exam. But I'm assuming that's someone who has no nursing background is coming. He's just studying from square one. So you need to know the requirements. You need to know which school you want to go to. What's the program? Is it the RPN or is it the RN course? Because some people tend to do RPN course 2 years and then work, get their money as they do the RN program. Right? So what do you want to do RN or do you want to do RPN? Right. What school do you want to go to? What are the requirements? And then now you work on those requirements. And then also, it's not just about that basic requirement. Let's say they say 75% in chemistry. Your goal should be more than that, because it's such a competitive program.
All right, to get in.
Yeah. So you're not just relying on 75. You really need to do better. And also, my advice would be, let's say you score, let's say 60 something, or a mark that you're not happy with, or a mark that will probably make your chances of getting in lower. I would recommend you redo that course. I did that with chemistry, so I redid my chemistry course, but it was night school, just so that I can get a better mark, and that would increase my chances of getting into the nursing school. Right. Yeah, so once you know what the requirements are, you work towards that. Okay.
Now, would you, just based on your understanding, would you say it's easy or fairly challenging? Like, how hard is it for someone that doesn't have a medical background to get into nursing?
I didn't when I got in, but I think that if you really want it, you really need to study, because if you don't, then you're going to find it challenging. You really need to want it. Yeah, but it's not easy. I would say it's not easy, because when I was doing, that is to get in. To get in, it's like it's not bad to get in. It's not. But
actually, staying and actually going through the program, you're saying. You really
need to be so committed and you really need to work hard, because there is also a certain average that you need to maintain to stay in the nursing program, right? So you want to excel and continue further and further, and you really need to work hard.
What about the how much is it? Like, is it like, is there a government support, or is it expensive? What's the pricing?
So it's, well, some people pay out of pocket, and it depends. If you're an international student, then it's expensive. You're pretty much paying like maybe twice or 2.5 more than the regular citizen or permanent resident, and also it depends on if it's RN or RPN, and but I would say per semester would be about 4K, but you're getting but you're getting like a loan from the government. So the government knows your program, knows the course that you're taking, and then they give you the loan, and then you have to, of course, pay after your school is done.
Now, is this a career path that you would advise for people coming to Canada?
Definitely.
What's good about it? How are you finding it to be so good?
Because it's something that I enjoy. It's like my passion. I enjoy doing nursing, practicing nursing, because I enjoy caring for people, helping them. So I get a sense of fulfillment. Okay. And then also it's like a career that, let's say when COVID happened, right?
Oh, you guys
so many people lost their job, but then being a nurse, you still had your job. Like, I really didn't sit at home and know how. I was even so busy at that time. Like, people are calling you here and there. I feel like it's a career that you can always work. Right. And with these bills in Canada, you really need to be working. You can't stay at home because there's some kind of pandemic disabling you from working. And the money is good too. These bills are very high, and working as a nurse, depending on where you're working, you earn good money. So
that was actually my next question. Talk to us about pay. What is the sort of like entry level? If you're just starting, to work after graduation, what can someone expect to make?
So it also depends on where you're working at. So there's working in the community, there's working in like hospital or like cluster care, retirement home or nursing home. So hospitals are good, but the pay is not really as much, right? So you, at the beginning when you start working, just say in general, you can get something like 20. I guess nowadays it has changed, but my time it would be something like 27, and then of course with experience it goes up, but that is like the hospital. And then you can always, like, of course, like what is it, like have more ask for extra shifts time. But then this is a hospital. You can do travel nursing, which is more pay, but then you have to be outside. Like they'll send you to different locations, so you're kind of like relocating in a way. Yeah.
But you have a family, so.
Yeah. So with me, who has a family, I can travel, but just a certain distance. Because there was a time that actually I did get a contract, and that place was 3 hours. So I used to stay there, and then when I had my days off, then I used to
come back.
Yeah, but in that time, my husband was the one basically managing like the children.
The kids, right. Did he like it? I don't think he liked that very much.
No, he didn't. But for me, on the other side, like because you're working and then you go back home and you can relax. You don't have to pick up a child from daycare.
Right. I was actually gonna ask you that. So how do you? Because you work as a nurse. You're a married woman with 2 kids. Yeah. How do you balance all that?
So because of my job, it's like I would say it's like flexible. Because there's a time that I worked at the hospital. Hospitals are not flexible. It was like 12-hour shift, 7 to 7, and then it shifts to night shift. That was very, very difficult. But now with the current job that I have, it's more flexible. What
do you mean by that? So, like you don't work every day?
No, I don't work every day. And then like we have arranged it in a way that usually I start work at 6 a.m. Currently I start work at 6 a.m. and then like my daughter is going to daycare, so my husband I will get everything ready, like what she's going to wear and the food, and then he will drop her to daycare. And then I can, depending on if he's back home, because his job, you really don't leave work at that specific time. So then on my way from work I can pick her up. Yeah. But then also there was a time that I used to work in the community, not per se practicing nursing. My position was community care supervisor. So I would supervise the PSWs who are providing care in the communities. So that was basically like 9 to 5. I can take her to daycare, I can pick her up from daycare, and I didn't have to work weekends. Yeah. So with that I was working whenever I wanted to, but I have duties that I have to, or not really like duties. I had like for the lack of correct word, I would say duties or things that I need to accomplish
at your job.
Yeah, so it's not like I was going to give specifically like, let's say 40 hours. Sometimes it's 40 hours, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. But I'm able to like kind of like program myself. So then I'm able to go pick up the child from the daycare at X time and then drop off. It was more flexible. Yeah.
So talk to me about parenting, because you know one of the topics we talk about a lot on this channel is parenting in the diaspora and how different it is. Because you know I speak to a lot of parents, and like typically African parenting style is very tough. What is your parenting style like with your kids?
It's not like I can like compare it to like parenting back home, because I didn't parent my children back home. But here, daycare is expensive. So then you go.
What's expensive? Talk to someone that doesn't know anything. Before you have a kid, listen to this.
So first of all, it's now you go back to, are you married or not married? Because if you are married, okay, also registering your marriage or not registering. So we have registered our marriage. So the government recognizes you as one. So they consider both incomes. So when you're applying for daycare, most likely from two, or depending on the income as well. So you don't really, if you're two people, you're most likely not going to qualify. If you do, you just qualify for a certain amount of money. Because there's a time that I had applied and they rejected the application. They said, no, you guys don't qualify. But then at the same time, you're like, no, but I can't really, like, it's gonna be such a hassle to, it will be difficult to afford daycare and then like daily bills. Like, it's going to be tough. So then you have the option of either sending your child to like maybe a home daycare or someone that you know that babysits. So it would be cheaper.
We have them, we call them judges. Where it's an old lady. Is that what you're talking about? Is that something different?
That too, but then this other one, it's not like, this other one babysits other children, but not like, doesn't work with like, let's say the government, like they do it at their own.
Independently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you decide the price. You can talk them.
You can negotiate.
Yeah. But then the other public one, it's what they've said. But the expensive is, let's say they would say $85 a day. At the end, when you calculate it, it's about maybe 3,000 or 2,009 something. That's like rent.
That's
right?
a lot.
Yet you have your own rent, and then you have like your own other bills like groceries and hydro and all that. Yeah, so you need to know, like you need to consider all that thing. Are you going to register your marriage? Are you going to report? But anyways, people do different kind of things.
So basically, it will be a lot easier if you don't register your marriage, because then
I don't know. I
Right.
can't comment on that. I can
Right.
just say that if you don't register, then the government does not recognize you as to consider
incomes,
both
yeah.
incomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the same thing in the US. If you're a single mother
Yeah.
with kids, you get all the help in the world.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're married,
Yeah, it's a different story.
and like everything just goes away.
It's like costly.
For me, I don't understand why they do that, because I would assume families would need more help because it's more people. But that's not how the governments think about it.
Yeah.
But talk to me about like, has it been challenging just raising young kids?
Yeah, it has. I would say it has been, because like if you're in Canada, you have to provide them with, like back home you can just let the child, I don't go out and play with whoever, or other people can take care of your children, let's say relative. But here it's very busy. People are busy. You can't just call a friend and say, can I leave my child here so that I can go and do X and A, B, C? No, you have to figure out this child is going to go to daycare or not, right? And people are busy. People are not really going to help as much because they have their own life.
They also have their own problems.
Yeah, and then also like, let's say registering a child, because my son is going to start school in September, so there's like also a process of registering these children to like the school. Like back home you just go and then
you just
talk
you
to
just go
whoever
to
at school and then
right.
And then it's like you also have to be involved in the like different activities that they are doing. Or like I have a friend who has a child who goes for swimming lessons, and it's like I don't know if it's once a week, so she has to do this
Constantly being
yeah
involved, right.
And then you have to be involved in the activities that they're doing, take them out, do all like just different things.
Because I think that's one of the hardest things, is the kids require just so much time.
Yeah.
You have to involve. And if it's two parents that are working, a lot of the times you gotta be at work.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So now, as we finish, what advice would you give to someone that wants to move to Canada and they're ready, they're trying, how it is, trying to get their visa? What sort of advice would you give them? Like, what should they be prepared for? Something that they may not know.
They need to know that it's not as, because I feel like people back home believe that it's easy here, but it's not really easy. You may be starting from like square one. Even though you are educated back home or you have a good job, you need to lower your expectations. You need to know that when you come, you need most likely you'll benefit from having like Canadian education if you need to, let's say, make more money. And because there are these bills that are always there, you need to have good income to manage those bills depending on the lifestyle that you choose to have. So you would need to know that it would be good to go to school. That would increase your chances of getting more pay to survive in Canada. And also you need to be careful with the circle of friends or the people that you surround yourself with in Canada, because you can be so motivated. You're like, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to do A, B, and C, and then the people that you meet are going to what's the word even? Because then it's like you are the company you keep.
Right.
So those people may have also lived here for whatever number of years, but they're not too serious with their life. They just want the basics. So you are going to meet those people, and then you just settle for that basic life. And there are people who may not be happy with your success. You have to be careful with that as well. You need to seek help from organizations. There are organizations there that are willing to help. Like when I came to Canada, there was YWCA. So that's like what does it stand for? I'm forgetting what it stands for, but then it's for women. There's YMCA, but there's the one that I was mostly in is like YWCA, which is for women, would help with like resume, would help with like helping you search for better housing, or even apply for different things, even you being able to get your SIN number or apply for a job. Like you need to take advantage of those organizations, right? Because they're very helpful. And then what else would I say? You shouldn't lose focus, even though at the beginning it may be hard, but you need to just push through. It's gonna be hard. I believe that it was hard for everyone, but you have to just keep going.
You touched on something that my entire time here in Canada, people have said this, that there is so many people that are just comfortable with the basics and you know, getting government support and just like doing nothing. While in the US, it's a little different. Everyone's like hustle, 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 hustle. I mean, kids that are like 16, they're going to high school and then they're working at a grocery store after that, and you know, they're working. Why is it so different here? Why do you think people here are more like more low-key and like just okay with the basics? Why is that?
I don't know about, I feel like in Canada there's so much that the government is providing, right? Let's say if you're a single mom, you would be getting more, I think, child benefits, you'll be getting more money. So then you can be comfortable and just say, you know what, that's good enough. You have the child benefits, you also have the welfare, which will be more because you're a single mom, or you're just a single person. So you're not so motivated to work. There's also housing. These are things that I believe are easier to get. So once you get them, like you're just like, you just okay with that.
Why else would I go to work?
You're also thinking, because the more you earn, the more taxes you're going to pay. So I find that the Canadian government is not really motivating you to work. Right? Then you're thinking, okay, but I can just get, this person is on welfare, they can get this, they can buy this, or they can get this amount of childcare benefits. And also the group that you're hanging out with, or you're surrounded by, just surrounded by people who are just there. And then also you're just like, you know what?
It's these people are doing it, so I think I'm okay.
They're just living a comfortable life. I don't even have people that I'm supporting back home. Why do I need to work hard? Right? Yeah.
Okay, so as we finish, just tell us about what does the future look like for you? Where do you want to see yourself in your nursing, or in your career?
I really enjoy bedside nursing. Although it's difficult, it can be challenging, but then I understand that I can't be in it for good. But I would want to see myself doing more of like administrative things, such as like, let's say nursing homes, for instance, they have, let's say, just like a certain amount of PSWs to the number of residents. The care is not provided properly, right? You're finding that the residents are not cared for in a holistic manner because they are rushing, they have to move on to the next one. So I feel for these residents, I feel like they need proper care, and in nursing we need to provide care for these people, and we are failing them. So basically working with different homes, especially with nursing homes, to implement like better policies that will help the residents or the clients or the patients that live in these homes. I want to focus more on that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Choose nursing. It's so rewarding. I really enjoy nursing, honestly. I feel like I can't think of any other career. I've sat, but I can't think of anything.
This is the best for you.
Yeah.
All right, Beverly, thank you so much for your time. This was, I hope you've learned something. If you want to move to Canada, and if you are someone that's interested in nursing profession, she's saying it's a good track to take. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, consider liking the channel and subscribe. See you in the next video.